I'll honestly say when I was a schoolboy, went to Pepinbury Primary School, and there was a guy up the road and imported a 66 Mustang for his son, and I used to see him driving around in it, and he came from Canada, I think the car did too, and as soon as I saw the shape I fell in love with it straight away, and I thought one day I'll own one of those, the old boyhood dream. Well, I would say probably a good 30 odd years before I could afford to buy one, once you get rid of the family and the kids and stuff. But I have been involved in cars. I'm a mechanic by trade, and so you just get a passion for them, and I've always had the odd hot rod or bits and pieces through the years, but I've always ever really wanted a Mustang, yeah. I brought this off Grant Sylvester from Sylvester Motors, and it was just black and red, I think from memory, the colour of it. Pretty rough, and they were just using this here smoko car to go and get their morning teas and stuff. And I thought I went to look at another car that was in there and saw this, and I said I've got to have it, first Mustang. So I went and bought it the very next day. Had the whole thing repainted, and since then I've redone all the front and rear suspension, the whole lot, done the whole complete lot. Mechanically it's completely original, factory motor in it, everything else is factory on it, bar the wheels. So interior's all factory too, haven't touched that. I put a new dash pad on the top, that's the only thing I've actually physically put in, which you can see up here. It's all been replaced, it was all sun cracked and damaged. And apart from that, everything else is completely original. So I'd do a bit and then I'd use it for a while and then I'd just do something else. But to do all the suspension, all the diff and everything out, the rear springs, front springs, the whole lot, it's probably off the road for 3 or 4 months when I did all that. The painting, it was probably off the road for 6 months when I got the rust and everything cut out of it. And apart from that, no. And use it quite often, so it's good. Constantly having to muck around with something. There's always something that's not quite right, or something that just you'll be away going somewhere and something happens to them, small things, because they are old cars and they're built back in the 60s, 70s, early 80s, and so yeah, they do. They take a lot of tinkering and mucking around with, but that's part of the passion. That's why you do it. Anyone would tell you that works in the garage at home wouldn't normally have one, but they are become quite cheap to buy. And it was always something I always wanted, and as I've got older it's harder and harder to crawl around under there, jack it up, put it on jack stands. You can just walk around underneath this now, you know, and just makes it massively easy for anything you want to do on it. Yeah, one was enough, but as soon as I saw another one I thought, oh, I've got to have it. And I bought this reasonably cheap. A guy brought it out of America. It was pretty rough, and I just thought I just liked the idea of having a notchback and sort of hot rodding it at the same time. So put a bigger motor, you know, coming out with a 351 in it, but I modified the whole thing, the exhaust and the diff and everything, so this thing was completely down to a shell and rebuilt it from there, just so it could go fast. And I like the hot rod part of it, rather than being the purist with the other car. Suspension was all munted in it, the motor was pretty much buggered, all the rear springs replaced, all those, the whole lot, just about everything on the car's been replaced pretty much. In America, they've got repo parts, buy them as cheap as anything. So you can buy anything you want online, as you know now, and it's reasonably cheap. It just depends how the American dollar's going at the time when you buy them. It's got a big cam in it, and the thing is, it's a mongrel to drive around town, really hard to drive, as my mates would tell you. But that's pretty much it really, for the amount of times I use it. I still like to use this car a lot too, so we go away and do big trips in it. It's an absolute passion, and when you're driving them, people like to look at them too. You know, everyone sort of recognises a Mustang from miles away, I reckon. My son's into cars as well, so he recognises that. And my daughter likes classic cars. My wife does too. She loves going away on the trips that we go away on and meeting up with all the other people that are into that. It's really good. We have a lot of fun. We've got a lot of hoons and in our club. Hoons, I mean, old hoons. I'm semi-retired, so every day if I've been out in the car today putting petrol in, like I've got a wedding to do this weekend for a friend of ours, and your daughter loves to look at the cars. I've been around and had a look, and they want to do it too. And that's when you see someone that likes your car you got, that's something that gives you a bit of satisfaction as well.